All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in His truth. I'm Pathaka Moth, GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick lesson, just touching on the fact that Israel is truly going off, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of camps out here that's bugging out, man. You know what I'm saying? Those 501c3 charters are going hard right now, man. And just Jake is just bugged out, man. The doctrines out here are wayward. They're erring. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're out here teaching a lot of madness. ISUPK, for example, is teaching that John the Baptist is not in the truth, man. When we know for a fact, according to the scriptures, that John the Baptist is Elijah, man. You know what I'm saying? So how can he not be in the truth, man? You know what I'm saying? Just these camps don't have any understanding, man. Then you got Jake that's listening to all these different camps, and they're getting confused, man. Which the scriptures say that a double-minded man is as a matter of fact. I know I'm gonna botch that, so let me just go real quick. Let me just I'm gonna type it in real quick. Let me just type it in. I don't wanna mess it up. See what the scripture says about it. This is James chapter 1. James chapter 1 and verse 8. It says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly why these people are confused, man. They're listening to all these different camps, man. And one camp, you got camps out there like One Body in Yahushai, who teaches that the miracles that the things that the Lord did, they weren't actual miracles. He didn't perform actual miracles, man. You know what I'm saying? They teach that it's metaphorical. You know what I'm saying? For something else. You know what I'm saying? Which us at GMS here at Great Millstone, we teach that he did perform literal miracles. You know what I'm saying? So when you got people out here going back and forth to these different camps, you got different camps like what's the name of that little group? Adam Abbott, you know what I'm saying, which teaches that the mark of the beast is a spiritual mark. Us at Great Millstone, we teach us an actual physical mark, man, a physical, which is the RFID microchip, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got all these different doctrines, and you got these people out here, Jake out here, just running from one place to another, listening to all these different, doctrines. You know what I'm saying? And they're becoming confused, man. You know what I'm saying? And the scriptures speak about false prophets, man, in these times, man. So hey, you got Jake bugged out as well, listening to all these different wayward doctrines, man. And you got Jake out here not understanding what mamzer is, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to call different brothers mamzers and hey, man, just no understanding, man. So I just want to deal with that really quick, man, because that whole mamzer thing, you know what I'm saying, is going to get a lot of Jakes put to death, man, because they don't have the understanding of what a mamzer is, and they put all their faith and trust in the blue letter, which don't get it twisted. Don't get me wrong. The blue letter is a beautiful tool, man. It's a beautiful tool, and there's a lot of things that a lot of positive things that the blue letter brings, man. As far as this ministry, it helps, but the blue letter is not the say all be all. And Apostle Gabar, like years ago, did a beautiful series on proving that how the blue letter goes off, man. You know what I'm saying? But you got Jake out here just trusting 100% in the blue letter, man. You know what I'm saying? Which there's things in the blue letter, if you go into it, it's you can't even get a complete understanding of certain things you go into, man. It still leaves you with, okay, that didn't answer my question. That didn't give me what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? You'll get those in instances dealing with the blue letter, man. But like I said, Apostle Gabar did a beautiful series years ago on how the blue letter goes off, man. So these things are known by the men of Great Millstone. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of, people that are waking up and coming into the truth, and these different people that don't want to join camps, just, whatever they're on, and they're listening to all these different camps, and they're going off, man. So I'm just gonna deal with that whole mamzer thing really quick, and they get that from when you go to Deuteronomy, the 23rd chapter, and I'm gonna get to the point. This is Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 2, and it reads, "A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord." And when you go into that word, Lord willing, it'll let me in. There it is. Okay. Right there, you see it. A bastard, Hebrew 44:64, and it says mamzer right there. But when you go into, let's go into it. This is what the blue letter says about it. This is H4464 mamzer. And it says a bastard, child of incest, illegitimate child, a bastard, mixed population, born of a Jewish father and heathen mother, which is wrong, man. That's off. Or vice versa. That's wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? That is totally off. So like I stated, the blue letter goes off, and Apostle Gabar did a beautiful series proving that, man. And here's one of those instances where the blue letter is going off, man, because being born to a Jewish father and a heathen mother is not what makes a mamzer, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what that scripture is going into. And I'm going to prove that real quick. So let me go. As a matter of fact, from the, because this there was and I was watching a video from the brother out there in GMS, South Carolina, Manata Zagba out there in South Carolina, man. And it was a guy he was dealing with, you know what I'm saying? And, by his definition, you have to have an Israelite mom and an Israelite father, which is not that's not biblical, man. And let's get that real quick. Then I'll come back here. When you read in Numbers, the first chapter, and you drop down to verse 18, it breaks it down very thoroughly and very clearly, man. This is crystal. So pay attention. This is Numbers 1:18. "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees." As a matter of fact, let me get that word pedigree real quick. Let's find out what a pedigree is. There it is right there. Pedigree. Yalad. Which means kid, your child, kid in the Hebrew. Yalad is kid. So it says, outline of biblical usage: to bear, to bring forth, beget, gender travail. So to basically your lineage, to bear, to bring forth, to beget. That's why the scripture says, such and such begat such and such, you know what I'm saying? And it uses begat. That word begat, means they brought them forth, that seed, so it's a seed line. There it is, verse number B. It says to be born, as a matter of fact, A, to bear, bring forth of childbirth. There it is. To beget, to be born. You know what I'm saying? So, D, to be born. I, to beget a child. So there it is. So G, to declare one's birth. Pedigree. So your lineage, basically. So I'm gonna read it again. This is Numbers 1:18. "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees," that which is your lineage, your line, "after their families, by the house of their fathers." It does not say your mom and your father. It doesn't say your mother. So those fakes over there in the land saying that you have to have a Jewish mom, it is off, man. This kingdom is backwards and upside down, man. It's not according to the scriptures, man. They're contrary to the Lord. It says from 20 years old and upward by their poles. So it's according to the house of your fathers, man. Your father, man. So you are what your father is. It has nothing to do with your mother, man. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to have both parents be Israelites, man. Or you couldn't, right there, you'd have to explain a Rehoboam. As a matter of fact, you would have to explain King David, which I'm gonna get into that. Hold on real quick. Let me go back to Deuteronomy real quick, and then we'll move forward. So this is Deuteronomy 23:2. "A bastard, a mamzer, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord," which they think that means a person that doesn't have both Israelite or so-called Jewish parents. not what it's talking about. And it's going to explain it to you what it's talking about. We're just going to keep reading. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So who is this bastard talking about, man? Read the next verse, verse 3, man. It's going to explain who it's talking about, who that bastard is talking about. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. So that bastard is talking about the Ammonites and Moabites, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they came by way of incest. You know what I'm saying? The two daughters of Lot. You know, the daughters of Lot laid with their father, man. And these two nations of people, which are the Moabites today, Salaki and the Ammonites today, are brought forth through incest, man. Which the Lord ain't dealing with that, man. So that's the mamzers, man. It's talking about the Ammonites and the Moabites, them Japanese and them Chinese, man. You know, that's what it's talking about. It's not talking about you having not having both parents being Israelites, man. That's not what it's talking about, which, like I said, I previously stated, if you're going to try to go there, man, then you would have to explain Rehoboam, who we know to be an Israelite, man. Then you would have to explain King David, man. Oh, my goodness, boy, these people, boy, woo, these people are something else. Because when you go into Ruth, as a matter of fact, this is Ruth chapter 4, and I'm started like around verse 13. This is Ruth chapter 4 and verse 13. It reads, so Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gave her conception, and she bare a son. So now I'm going to go into this word Ruth real quick, because Ruth was a Moabite, man, a so-called Chinese woman. It says it right there, Ruth, Hebrews 73:27. And when you read in the biblical usage, her name means friendship. A daughter-in-law of Naomi, wife of Boaz, and grandmother of David. And when you jump down to Strong's definition, Ruth, friend, Ruth, a Moabitess. Ruth. So she was a Moabite, man. She was a so-called Chinese. You know, it's right there. Let me scroll it up so you can see it right there. Moabitess. She was a Moabite. She was a so-called Chinese woman. That's who the Moabites are biblically. Today, they're the Chinese, those so-called Chinese. So Ruth was a Chinese woman. So if you're going to try to say that both parents have to be Israelites, then you would have to explain this right here would cut, because when you can, let's just keep reading. We're going to keep reading. I'm going to jump down to verse. Where am I at? I'll start at verse 16, because we just read in verse 13 that Boaz went unto Ruth, and she had conception, and she bare a son. And Naomi, because our people, if our men lay with heathen women, those heathen women, if you allow the heathen women to raise the kids, the heathen women are going to go off, and there's accounts in the scriptures that go into that, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what was happening during the time of Nehemiah, man. You know, because those heathen women were allowing those heathen women to raise the Israelite children, and they were going off, man, into all of those heathen customs, man. No, the right way to do it is the heathen woman that brings that child forth. Then the Israelite woman, because Naomi was an Israelite woman, you know, and the mother of Boaz, and she raised took the child and raised it in under the Hebrew customs, man, you know, and that's the right way to do it. But I'm gonna read. This is Ruth 4:16, and Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom and became nurse unto it, and the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, there is a son born to Naomi, because that's going to be how it's done, man. The child, even though it came from a heathen woman, is going to be raised, and that Israelite woman is going to take that child on as hers. And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, there is a son born to Naomi, and they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. So there it is right there, man. And then when you jump down to verse 22, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David. So you're in turn saying, if you're saying that you have to have both Israelite parents because Ruth was a Moabite, then you're saying that Obed was a mamzer, which would mean that his son Jesse would be a mamzer, which would mean that his son David would be a mamzer. So now you're saying that the Lord, because hold on. Let's go here now. Let's go to Acts chapter, what is it, 13 or 14? What is that in? 13 or 14. Hold on one sec. I believe it's 13. Because you read in Acts 13, Acts 13 and 22, and when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king. Why would the Most High raise up David, who by your definition would be a mamzer, to be king over his people, man? That makes no sense. To whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, which is the son of Obed, which is the son of Boaz, which was an Israelite, and Ruth, which was a Moabite, which by your definition would be a mamzer, which would make them mamzers, man. I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. So why would the Most High choose a mamzer to be a man after his own heart to fulfill all his will? That doesn't make any sense, man. You know, that doesn't make any sense. So when we go back to Deuteronomy 23 and 2, a bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. That does not line up. You know, the throne of David is going to be established, man. This thing is all about the throne of David, man. That's who the Messiah, Yahushai. He's going to sit on his father's throne, King David's throne, man. The throne of his father, man, David. The scriptures say that, man. So by your definition, that does not line up, man. That's not what it's talking about, which I just explained. When you continue to read in verse 3, it's talking about the Ammonites and the Moabites, man. You know, who committed incest with their father and brought forth those sons, which are the progenitors of the so-called Chinese and Japanese today, which are Moabites and Ammonites today. That's your mamzers, man. That's who it's talking about. It's not talking about a Jewish. You have to have two so-called Israelite parents, man, because I just broke that down in Numbers, the 1st chapter, man. It's by the house of your father. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Rehoboam is an Israelite, because his father is an Israelite. That's why King David is an Israelite, because his father is an Israelite. Jesse is an Israelite, and Jesse's father, Obed, is an Israelite, because Obed's father, Boaz, is an Israelite, man. That's how it goes. Doesn't matter about the woman, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, Jake is out here bugged out, man, at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to really quick just go into that. That just the spirit jumped on me, man. I was listening to that brother's lesson, and I decided, to kind of go in on it myself and just make some points. So hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, man. I just want to do a real quick lesson. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, hopefully it was edifying to the hopeful elect. With that, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Uhawa Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath Shal Dawadat. Shalom.